Hi, Mike Kennedy with you, and I'm here with the Monster Cheap Knife. Now, someone had mentioned this on one of the formats, one of the pages, about remember the old survival knives, the hollow handle survival knives that had the kit inside. And lo and behold, I was over at Harbor Freight and they had them for $8.77 marked down, supposedly from 12. So I decided to get one to try. Now, first off, anyone will tell you that usually not to buy a hollow handle knife. And why is that? Because this is the breaking point here. You can see there's a set screw here holding this humongous piece of stainless steel on. But since most knives are more rugged because of the tang, in other words, the knife extends back in. And with this one, since it's hollow, it doesn't. Now, it would be nice if they had continued some of it around and still made its place, but they didn't. So, how sharp is this knife? Let's just see with this piece of cardboard in here how easily it cuts the cardboard. Usually you're supposed to do that with paper, but I thought I'd do that. Now this has a really 90-degree spine, so I would assume that it would be really good for fire rods. I can feel how angled that is. In other words, they didn't take the time to round it off. I assume this thing is supposed to be a saw, but the teeth don't look like they're designed right, so they won't do anything. But let's look at the main feature of this besides scaring someone to death. I guess you could do that, scare someone to death and get put in jail for threatening someone with a deadly weapon, is that it's hollow and it has a survival kit. So our first item, which we're going to zoom in for these. Now we're looking at the insides. We basically have four items, sorry. We have a compass that points different directions depending on where you point it. So I would say this compass is totally useless. It is magnetic because when I put the blade to it, it does south goes towards the blade. So there is a magnet in there, but I would say it's poorly, the pivot that it rests on is bad. Or the disc is too big so it hits the edges. We have some matches and a little striker. This right here, they shouldn't be in here. They should have storm matches and a striker. I mean, matches are good because they're easy to use, but these matches could blow right out if there was a little water, a little wind. If it was damp, they could go right out. So I definitely would replace these with storm matches. So we got two items that we basically need to replace. Although I do like the idea of matches because matches are easy for anyone to operate. I would put a ferrous, and you would want to put tinder in here. Either have a cotton ball, mostly covered in Vaseline, or products such as wet tinder in there, so you have something that you can start, get lit, and it will burn for 8 minutes while you're coaxing your other kindling into flame. Because this has such a nice 90-degree edge on it here, this could be easily used for a ferrocerium rod, so I would include one of those in there. It's got a little fishing kit. I guess there's nothing wrong with having a little fishing line and a hook. And it has a little sewing kit. Now, I'm sure this was just something that was being made somewhere and they threw it in thinking, oh, this could be survival. But, you know, I guess it's good if your pants fall down. It's got 3 different colors of thread. It's got a bobby pin, needle, and 2 buttons. Could be used for other things, but we're gonna refill this, try to make it more useful. I'm gonna have to replace the compass, replace the matches, and put a few more things in it. And we're also gonna try it out. So see how strong this connection is, where it appears that the tang goes back to here, you know, the knife itself goes back only this far. So we're going to see how well that does, how sharp it is and all that stuff. It's stainless steel, so it isn't going to be easy to sharpen in the field, so if it isn't sharp already, it's going to be kind of a bummer. But stay tuned for part 2.